The Atlanta Hawks are currently sitting at 4-8 on the season, which is good enough for the 13th seed in the Eastern Conference. And I don't think it really has to be said, but this is not where anybody expected them to be coming off of an Eastern Conference Finals appearance. They brought back their core, brought in their best backup point guard in the Trae Young era in DeLon Wright, and were coming into the season fully healthy aside from missing Okongwu. Health alone was going to make this team so much better. DeAndre Hunter looked like a star in the making, and we'd heard all offseason about Cam Reddish's improvement in the gym. But here we are, 12 games into the season. The Hawks have lost 5 straight and have had some stinkers so far, to say the least. To give them some credit, they have had only 4 home games to 8 road games. They've also had the 3rd hardest schedule so far this season, according to Power Rankings Guru, and played 5 games in 7 days last week. 4 of those games were away, including a back-to-back with Golden State and Utah. So they struggled a lot early, and there's a few reasons as to why. One of the things you hear about all the time of teams who've gone on a deep playoff run is that they just don't care about the regular season anymore. This team had no idea what a playoff environment was like the last couple of years. So guys would play hard almost every night trying to get there. Then they played on that stage and put on a great performance. Now they're coming back to the 82-game grind to get back. It's no longer, we have to play hard for a playoff spot. Now it's, we'll just get through the regular season. We don't care that much about seeding. We can play anyway. Trae Young even has a quote saying, "I think guys are learning that we're no longer the hunters. It's regular season. I'm not going to lie, it's a lot more boring than the playoffs. You got to find the motivation to play like the playoffs." That lack of motivation has shown itself a lot early in this regular season. A lot. The Hawks are 27th in defensive rating at 112.2. When on the road trips, that drops to 115.5, which would be the worst mark in the league by a couple of points. But at home, that jumps up to 105.6, which would be around 10th or 11th in the league. The Hawks simply play better at home so far. Their shooting splits are higher, they get more steals and blocks, they just play inspired basketball. In their home win against Washington, many thought it was going to be their breakout game. Bogdanovic started playing very aggressively on both sides of the ball, going for steals and pushing the tempo on the fast break. It got everyone else going, including the fans. They feed off of that energy, as most teams do. And while it's great that they're able to do that at home, they have to figure out how to play on the road well. There's been several times in road games, and just games in general, where they'll argue with refs over calls and not get back on defense, allowing plenty of fast break points. It's how games get away from them. It doesn't help that Capella is still recovering from an Achilles injury he played through in the postseason, because he is supposed to be the anchor of this defense and he just hasn't been so far. His finishing is brutal and he's just simply not been that good defending the paint and shots at the rim. They also don't have anyone behind him because Okongwu is injured and Gorgui Dieng is just not that good, especially not in any expended minutes. There's a lot of Gallo or Collins at the 5, and those are fine against small ball lineups, but against any type of interior presence, it just does not work defensively. So they have a defense problem, they have a motivation problem, but honestly, I'm not worried about this Hawks team at all. It's early in the season, they've had some guys come out the gate slow, and they've had one of the toughest schedules in the league so far. Now, should they be 4-8? No. Despite coming back into the regular season from a deep playoff run, they should not be 4-8. They've said countless times that they want to be considered in the upper echelon of the Eastern Conference, and they just haven't played like that so far. They absolutely have some things that they still need to figure out. The defense and the hierarchy on offense being a couple of things, being a couple huge things. But Trae Young has picked up the offense his last few games. John Collins has been absolutely phenomenal so far, and he needs more touches, honestly. And then Cam Reddish is definitely showing some very good signs early in the season, although he is a little shot happy so far. Herter, Bogey, and Hunter have all had a couple signs of life. They just have to figure it out going forward. The Capella thing is something to monitor for sure. But other than that, I definitely believe in this Hawks team to figure things out and be right back in that Eastern Conference race. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. And y'all have a good one.